We heard from Nebraska's coordinators and players as the Huskers get ready for Rutgers. Hi, Sean Callahan with HuskerOnline. This report, though, brought to you by Prize Picks. There's no better way to get into the action. Win up to 10 times your money on Prize Picks. It's as simple as picking more or less of your favorite stat category, from touchdowns to receptions to rushing yards, you name it. And it's not just football. All the Major League Baseball playoff action, anything you want, taken on with Prize Picks. All right, let's get into the report here from Nebraska. We heard from offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield, defensive coordinator Tony White. First from White as he looks at the challenge the Blackshirts face this week with the running back Kyle Monagai.
He's probably the best one we've seen to date. You know, contact balance, vision. I mean, the guy, he just does not stop his feet. And the really neat thing about him is you see him and he gets his yak yards are ridiculous. I mean, he's getting hit at 2 and 3 yards, and then when they spot the ball, you know, he's gained 6 and 7. You know what I mean? So that's between falling forward, breaking tackles, the old lineman hitting the pile forward, all that kind of stuff. They really do a really good job at finishing plays.
His feet never stops, like even on contact. And he just keeps driving, and that's probably the thing that sticks out the most because, you know, he's a smaller guy, but he's a very powerful runner.
And another test for Nebraska with Rutgers is just winning on those early downs, because the Scarlet Knights have been very efficient with what they do on third down.
Efficiency. You know, they're going to pick their spots where they want to throw the ball when they see they got their advantageous looks, and then their running backs falling forward and stuff like that. So, you know, you're not getting them into 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10. You're getting them into 2nd and 6, and then 2nd and 6 turns into 3rd and 3 and 4. You know what I mean? Much different than 3rd, 7, 8, 9. So they just do a really nice job. They know what they want to do.
The play of linebacker John Bullock continues to be a story for Nebraska, as well as Bullock is playing at an all Big Ten level.
Well, it's if you're going to say anything about Nebraska, the first person I think that epitomizes what it is John. You know, he's a local guy, he's a Nebraska guy, right? And he comes over here, he walks on. I still remember the day where he's the 4th safety, and when we get here, he's the 4th safety or so, 4th or 5th safety, and Coach Rule standing back there, and he's like, "Hey, you see that guy right there? Well, let's move him to linebacker. Let's move John to linebacker and see what a simple like observation like that, right, turns into somebody who's playing at an all-conference level right now, you know, and he's loving where he's at. His decision to come back and play, you know, it's showing up on the grass, it's showing up in the locker room, it's showing up, you know, in family dinners, the smiles on his faces, the celebration when he scored and the guys going crazy for him. Like, it don't get any better than that story, you know, and it's really fun to be a part of that, because that's something he'll till the day he stops breathing, he'll remember that. You know, he'll remember this story. So still got a lot of games to go. He better play well the rest of the way. But it's turned out to be a good one so far.
And another player closing in possibly on a black shirt is corner Sierra Wright.
Based off of the last 2 games, he's I'd say he's damn close to doing that. You know, that's how competitive he is on the grass and doing things the right way. So that conversation will come up whenever Coach brings it up.
Wright came to Nebraska from USC. He was a late roster addition. He talked more about that transition.
Yeah, it's been great so far. The entire team and staff has been super welcoming. I think that's the number one thing that's made the transition easier. And yeah, I love the culture here. You know what I'm saying? So just assimilating to that culture, you know, getting used to it from what I came from it's been good, and I like the challenge. So.
It's well known that Wright has a background in Hollywood acting. I asked him, are you working on some acting projects out here in Nebraska?
Yeah, I've taken a break, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in Nebraska, so I ain't going to be filming nothing out here for real. It's slim pickings for sure.
Your teammates been interested in that in the months that you've been a part of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's something that's, you know, not of the norm for, you know, a lot of the people here. So they've, you know, asked me questions about it, and it's cool to be able to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just something new. Like, being in LA is kind of something that's not really out of the ordinary, but out here it definitely is something that's a topic of conversation sometimes.
And talking to Marcus Satterfield and some of the players on offense, I think one of the benefits of last week's game was the Huskers were able to overcome a lot of things, and then they finished strong.
I think it was good just to go win a road game, and whether there was having to respond, I don't know if we had to respond to anything. I think we just kept playing and started executing.
Yeah, I think it was good for us as a team, especially as an offense. Just from past years, that might have not have been the feeling that we had going into the halftime. I know as a team we went into halftime knowing that we had there's no worriness, there's no what's going on. We knew as an offense who we are and what we can do, and that if we just lock in and play the games, we play the plays we can play and finish the drives and do everything we can do. Make the plays our players can make. We're going to be successful, and I think that's what we showed in the second half.
And for players like quarterback Dylan Raiola, it was his first road game, and we heard from him and Ben Scott just about some of those challenges, but he overcame them pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. You go to all these Big Ten schools, or we will, and you kind of take in what each school offers, and I think that's the beauty of the Big Ten is there's all kind of different cities and different things that make that place special. So I thought it was a great atmosphere, and yeah, it's nothing like being at home though. We're happy to be back home this week and be in front of our fans.
Yeah, I think it was handled great. They had a little student section and their band, so it got a little loud toward that one side of the stadium, and I think we handled it pretty well. And I think it's always good to work on it and practice with the crowd noise and different cadences and stuff. So I think it's something to work on.
Not surprising. Probably was even more focused and locked in.
Tight end Thomas Fedoni said Raiola is just not your typical freshman.
Obviously having him back in the backfield, he's a dynamic quarterback, smart kid, really smart kid. And, he's really good at going through the progressions. That's one thing that, I'm not surprised, but just I love, that he can do is just he goes through his progressions and, if something's not open, he'll go back to the check down or something like that, which we haven't done a lot in the past. And just as little as it is, it's huge in football. And just having him be able to, make those off-balance throws, stuff like that on 3rd and 20, and just be able to find the open receivers, it's huge. Just be able to, convert on those big plays and give us momentum, to continue and finish drives. Really, I just think that he has shown, he's not the calmness he has, the work he's put in. It just shows. The amount of work he's put in makes him, calm on the field. Nothing really phases him. He's always calm, and I know I keep saying that, but it is crazy, especially at the quarterback position. You have so many things going on. You have to make these reads. You have to do audibles out of the different plays. You have to see coverages and post snap, pre snap. There's just a lot of stuff going on in that position, and just him being able to slow everything down and be calm from the amount of film he's watched and work he's put in. It just shows on the field and practice. So I think that's been noticed, and everyone sees how good he is in those situations.
Huskers back to work here on Wednesday, reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln. I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.